the village team has a bunch of plain villagers and some villagers with powers. So all of the people who are villagers, whether they have powers or not, are trying to find werewolves and kill them. Once all the werewolves are dead, the village can claim victory. So I'll just go through the various roles that are in the game. There's the seer. Starting, the seer will wake up every night. I'll wake up the seer. They will give me a name or number of somebody, and I will tell them either werewolf or not werewolf. Throughout the game, people will ask for the seer to come out and give their information. I'm not going to tell you when to do that, but at some point, it is good to pass that information onto your fellow villagers. The next role is the witch. So the witch, I'm going to wake up every night and I will show them who is targeted by the wolves. The witch has one save potion that they can use in the game. I will ask them if they want to use that save potion. If they want, that person who has been targeted by the wolves will be safe and will survive. They also have a once per game kill potion. So each night I will wake them up and ask them, do you want to save person? Yes or no? If they say no or yes, we figure that out. Then I say, do you want to kill somebody? If they say yes, they have to give me a name or number. Then that person will die immediately. And that has to be done during the night. Once those powers are used, I will still keep waking you up though, so that the village and wolves don't exactly know which powers have been used. I mean, you'll probably figure it out, but I'll still be waking you guys up. The next role is the beholder. Some of you who played the legacy might, this is the different name for the sentinel. The beholder will be woken up on night 0 and will be told who the seer is. That's all they will do. And so essentially they're kind of trying to protect the seer. And the way to play the beholder is, you know who the seer is. You might kind of try to follow what they do. You want to protect them. You want the seer to stay alive. And even if that means sacrificing yourself. The next role we're going to play with is the diseased. The diseased, what happens with the diseased is if they get killed by the werewolves will not get a kill the next night. So ideally, what you want to do as the disease is you want to get killed by the wolves, not by the village. So maybe be aggressive, maybe just throw out random names, but obviously that could get you killed in the day. The next role is the lichen. The lichen is on the villager team, but if they are checked by the by the seer, they will appear as a werewolf. I'm going to play it where you can't, it's going to be a secret lichen, so you don't know you're the lichen. So, if I'm just going to do Sarah because she's number 1. Let's say Sarah's the secret lichen and the seer checks Sarah, I will tell the seer that person is a werewolf. Then probably maybe later in the game, the seer's going to come out and say, hey, Sarah's bad. And then maybe you guys kill Sarah, and then I will tell you Sarah was a villager. Well, at that point, you'll probably realize that Sarah was the lichen. And Sarah may even say as a defense, hey, I'm the lichen, he's wrong. Obviously, werewolves will probably use that as well if they get seen. The next one is the cursed. The cursed is on the villager team, but if they die by the wolves, they become a wolf the next night. Actually, I will tell them the day they get killed. So if they get killed, let's say day 3, that morning, I will send them a message saying, you are now a wolf. They won't know who the wolves are for that day, but they will wake up the next night with their fellow wolves. And there will be no kill that night. So you won't know why there was no kill. Was it the disease? Was it the curse? Was it maybe the witch? And so they're on the good team, but could switch to the bad team. The next role is the private investigator. They have a once per game power where what they will do is I will wake them up every night, and then they will point at somebody or name somebody, and then I will tell them whether that person and their 2 neighbors, whether any of them are werewolves. So let's use Sarah again. Let's say the private investigator picks Sarah. I will tell the private investigator either thumbs up or thumbs down, whether Sarah, Sam, or Elliot, because it will wrap around to Elliot, whether any of those are werewolves. So if I give a thumbs up, that means yes, that's a werewolf. There's one of those three is a werewolf. It could be all three of them. It could be two. It could be, but it's one. If I give them a thumbs down, that means they're all villagers. The cursed will appear as a villager until they turn to a werewolf. If they turn to a werewolf. The last role is something I'm trying out. It's a role I'm creating, if you will. So what the student will do is on night 0, they will study under somebody. They will pick somebody and they will study under it. When that person dies, they will get a power. If that person was the seer, they'll become the seer. If that person was the witch, they'll become the witch. If they become the beholder, I'll tell them who the seer is. And so basically they get that power. If they pick a werewolf, they will become the tough guy. What the tough guy is, the tough guy basically has 2 lives. So if the tough guy gets killed, I will tell you that if it's during the night, nothing will happen. And then I'll let the tough guy know they were targeted, or I'll say something basically, the tough guy survived the night. And so the tough guy knows they only have 1 life left.
So they won't become a werewolf, they will become the tough guy.
No, they don't become a werewolf. They basically the theme is they studied under a werewolf and they figure out how to avoid being killed by the werewolf. That was my.
Will they be told that they're a tough guy at that point when they get that?
Yes.
If they pick a werewolf? Okay.
Yeah. So every day, at the end of every day, I'm gonna just stop everything and then send a message to. I won't be sending it every day, but I will theoretically be sending a message to the student telling them who they are if the person they followed died, and vice versa. Every morning I will wake them up and before everybody starts saying, I'll say, check your messages, see, if you're a new role based on the student.
Now you did say that they will get a role, but you didn't say what would happen if they picked a villager. Would they not get anything if you picked a villager?
No. So what happens if they get a villager is I will tell them 2 cleared village. I will tell them two basic villagers. So the idea is they've studied under villager and they understand what villagers are. And at that point, I will randomly say 2 village. I will send them a message saying, you studied under a villager, and Yahoo and Ryan are both fellow villagers.
Okay.
Those fellow villagers could have special roles or not. They are also part of the village, so they have some information. The one twist I have with the student is if that person they studied under dies at a certain time of the night, like after a certain amount of nights, I'm not going to tell you how many, they become a master. And the power they get becomes enhanced. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what the enhancements are. And I'm not going to tell you exactly when that happens, but it'll be after a certain night. It won't be after night 2 or 3. There'll be a few nights. So it probably won't happen in the game, but in the game of 20, it could happen. And I will tell them, for example, you are, the super witch, and I will explain to them what that means in the message. Okay, and so then those are the special roles, and then there's going to be a certain amount of villagers, just plain villagers. The first night, it's going to be night 0. Basically, the student's going to pick their person. I'm going to wake them up. That's the only time they will wake up until unless they get a special role later. I'll call the wolves. They'll wake up and see each other. Just kind of wave at each other so you know who each other are. And then I will call the seer so that they get 1 C on night 0. I will call the beholder. I will tell them who the seer is. And then I will also call the private investigator, and they can use their private investigator power on night 0 if they choose to. Any questions before we get going for night 0?
Okay. I had one question. So, like when we're asleep, can we do like any gestures while other people's awake?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, no, do not do any gestures. You're not like, who do you want to save? Which don't start pointing at yourself. Nothing like that. The only people who should be communicating are the wolves who are when they're awake, and anybody like when you're asleep, basically. You're not supposed to do anything else. And if I wake you up, then at that point you're allowed to communicate. Okay, so I'm gonna mute everyone. We're gonna go to night 0. Okay. I'm going to ask my student to wake up. Let me know, who would you like to study under? Okay. Student, you can go to sleep. Okay, werewolves. Can you wake up and look at each other? There should be this many werewolves. Okay? If you see this many werewolves, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Werewolves, good luck and go back to sleep. Seer, wake up. Who would you like to look at? Okay, so I'm just gonna get my Seer. That person you want to look at is this. Okay? Seer, go to sleep. I'm going to get the beholder to wake up. Your seer is this person. Okay? Beholder, you can go to sleep. Private investigator, can I get you to wake up? Would you like to use your power? Just nod your head. No. If you want to use your power, just give me a thumbs up. If you don't want it, just give me a thumbs down. Okay, private investigator, go to sleep. And the beholder doesn't, just making sure. Student woke up, private investigator woke up. Okay, everybody can wake up. And you can unmute yourselves. And I'm going to give you 15 minutes for the first day because I'm nice.
That's so generous of you.
Wow. Except you did say
Wow.
good luck to the werewolves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I'll say good luck to the village too.
Wow.
So with that, does any werewolf want to come out and help the villagers?
I was going to ask if anybody wanted to confirm how many werewolves there were.
I was going to ask
It was
Chef what he had for
this-
breakfast for us.
Many. But I didn't have my eyes open, so I don't know how many it was supposed to be.
By the card rolls, it's probably 4.
That'd be my guess.
Oh,
Let's
did
get
you
some 4 or
math it out?
5. I'd guess 4 rather than 5, given we got cursed. So
Yeah, I would guess.
We got a
So we have-
five.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
Chris.
5. You count on 5 and then go from there.
We have
Definitely.
disease too, which disease would balance towards the village.
So if there are 5 werewolves, possibly, the seer had a really good chance of seeing one, right? So
Which
does anybody want to volunteer that info?
particularly
there'd only be
like 'em
4
both
at the
a bit
moment.
early.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I saw a regular villager during night 0.
Yeah.
Were you doing that as the bus
You had
driver?
a mirror in your hands.
I mean, his eyes were closed, so he saw himself. See?
he was looking in the mirror.
There you go.
He had everybody's roles written on the back of his eyelids.
Well, he's normally 3 of them every game. So
I know.
Also true.
I watched one video with him in it. He played like 5 different roles.
yeah.
We've actually played a game, I believe, with the Guami roll. Maybe the-
Can we talk about this game though?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't have
What do you
any-
got for us, Elliot?
I'm just heading over to Chef, see what he made for us for breakfast. What you got for breakfast for us?
Yeah, we actually did a nice like a Italian fritter, which is like have some nice fresh herbs in there, sausage. I made a nice cream sauce to go on top, garnished it with some roasted bells. And then we just kind of roasted that in the pan for a little while. And then next thing you know, we're serving that up with some nice sliced fresh fruit. And I think we're all happy with maybe some mimosas as well.
But what's the sausage made out of?
Can I be your real life
It's going to be
friend,
more of a
Chef?
sweeter Italian sausage. So just let you know.
Okay. Was
So
it
not,
made out
not
of
gamey
villager?
at all.
Yeah, so I'm feeding everyone. It's good. There's unfortunately no werewolf in this yet, but no, we're
I
good.
just
Wow.
wrote delicious down next to your name.
Thank you. Yes. My
Is that because you want to eat him?
Him.
Yeah.
No, not that way.
You said Italian? Who's Italian here?
Well, Italian side. One of my favorite.
Oh, okay.
I actually grew up in the northeast. I grew up in the northeast. I love Italian food. It was really prominent there. So, yeah. So, anyways,
Oh, Italian food. I was thinking. Okay, never
no
mind.
Italian food. Yeah.
Nobody
Not
died last
Italian
night.
werewolves. Oh, jeez. But I'm a villager too. So, if in case you care, I'm taking care of everybody. We're good to go.
So Lee, I don't think I've heard your voice yet. Do you have anything to say?
I am a player who would like for the village to win.
Oh, that was
So you're
good.
Very straightforward. I like it.
I like that.
But
That was a good-
straightforward, but completely allowed us to interpret every single role.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, I liked it.
The werewolf
Basically
with a
saying he's
side
a
bet on the
werewolf that's
village.
part of the
team.
village, so he wants the village to win. So
He wants the village to win for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Why do I think that every time I play another game, it just gets harder?
Because
No.
it does.
I feel like I'm getting dumber at this.
See, always
Yeah,
eventful
yes.
day one.
It's like you got at the beginning you don't know anything, then you have like good information, and then you get too much information on people.
And then you find out all your information is wrong.
Exactly. There you go.
Right.
There you
it's
go.
even harder.
Which
on
is
here,
always
'cause
the
when somebody
case for
start
me.
talking, you got to find who's talking. I was like, all right, who's talking?
Yeah.
Your thing doesn't light up for you? Like it should hover, like circle the box.
Sometimes it's
Yeah,
late.
it
Sometimes
was,
it's
but
delayed.
It's delayed because it was just over Greg just a minute ago when you were talking.
It
On
doesn't
community-
flash. It'd be nice if it flashed.
Yeah.
And if you get two people talking at the same time, then it will not. It will only show a partial box on one person.
I'm just
Let's
going
get the
to
nomination
accept
train
that.
going. I nominate Kwame.
I second.
Max,
Who the
love it.
second was
Since there's no
coming?
Max, I love it. Since there's no Max, I love it. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. What's your defense, Kwame?
oh,
Well, do
so
we need a
yeah,
second?
like I said, I checked somebody last night, and they were just a villager. So I'm gonna save that information for later. But I'm on the village team, and that's all I got for now.
Sounds good to
I have
me.
not picked out any suspicious behavior from anybody yet, so that's not cool.
So, Greg, since we're not family members in this game,
Oh man.
Okay, so I'm gonna just mute everyone for the vote. So we're voting up to save Guami, down to kill Guami. We currently have 20 people in the village, so you need 11 people to kill. A vote of 10-10 will be a tie and Guami will be okay. On a count of 3, you will vote thumbs up to save, thumbs down to kill. If there's any wavering, I may not count your vote. Daniel seems already insistent on what he's voting. That's fine. On a count of 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Sarah up, Sam up, Greg up, Adele up, Yahoo down. That's 1 down. Ryan, Daniel, Joseph, and Lee are up. Guami's up. Doug's up. Russ up. Chef's up. Blake, Andrew, Alex. I just realized the 2 oxygens beside each other. Jason, Corella, and so only 1 down vote. So only Yahoo doesn't like you. You
I think Yahoo was just continuing his role from the last game.
All right. Well, what's up, Daniel? First off, you voted down, then you went up. What's going on?
I was just
It's a
joking
Daniel
about-
move.
And pretty normal.
yeah, Daniel is fooling around in the start, and then when he gets his mind together later on, then he's really good. But in the beginning, he's really bad because he's just
So
fooling
what you're
around.
saying, he's a liability. We should get rid of him now.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Really?
come on, Jason.
He really straightens up in the dead chat. That's where he really shines.
I nominate
Oh
Daniel.
my god.
Before we
Ouch.
actually get onto a nomination, kill someone, I think it's worthwhile saying, just because we don't know who has it in the new player, is the PI role. My feeling on it is you've got couple of nights before you have to use it, but if you leave it too late in the game, it becomes virtually worthless because you'll search out half the players and of course one of them will be a werewolf. It's earlier on in the game where you might be able to clear a few people or
Seems like something you'd want to
Get
use as
focused
soon as you
everything
have
else.
some suspicions.
7
Okay,
minutes.
yep.
7.5 minutes.
Or it might
Honestly,
even be
I would
better to
use
use if you
right away.
think you have 3 people right in a row that you think are all villagers.
Yeah, if mathematically it makes sense, come out that next night. I know it'll be a little bit late in the game, maybe day 3, but make sure that if once you come out, you have to be able to. Once you do it, I would probably come out pretty soon after that. Either the next day,
you come out
probably immediately.
It's
Yeah,
immediate
that's basically what I'm
because
getting to.
it's a one-time use thing. So
For clarification, Andrew just had a good question. You can't nominate consecutively. So if you wanted to nominate Guami, what you would have to do is you have to nominate somebody else and then nominate Guami, then go back to Guami. So if you wanted to kill Guami,
I still nominate Daniel.
Do we need seconds in this game?
Wait, I just wanna ask, what isn't that connected with the guys who nominate with the person who nominates? If a person
Matt does it
nominates and then
no, I do it differently. It's
okay,
Jason did a nomination.
And I
So-
think
I don't know
well
if
that
you
makes sense
missed
with
it.
unlimited nominations. I could
Then-
see why
then
that would go
we
into
have
play.
to,
Yeah.
got a
then we have
nomination
to
in a
be
second here.
we have to be careful with the nominations, okay?
So can
That's-
Andrew nominate somebody else then?
But
Yeah, so I was
why
nominated,
is
by the way.
why is
I was
Jason's
nominated.
nomination not counting?
Someone
All right,
nominated
Matthew.
Daniel and I seconded it. Just
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that a true nomination? Okay.
Yeah, I nominated Daniel because he went down, then he went up. He seems conflicted. We already agreed he's a liability to the village.
I'm
That's
just
my
trying to steal
nomination.
Guami's role.
Okay, Daniel, defend yourself, Daniel.
Okay, well, I was joking around. People that play with me know that. That's a meta thing, but it's true. I always joke around in the first and a half day, and then out of a sudden I blow up with naming werewolves. I'm a villager, so yeah, take it as you will.
Okay, so I'm just going to mute everyone for the vote here. So on a count of 3, we still have 20 people, so it has to be 11 to kill. Vote down to kill Daniel, and vote up to save Daniel. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Sarah, Sam, Greg up. Joseph is down. Lee's down. Rami's down. And Jason is down. So it's 4 down. That is not enough. And you can unmute yourself and keep going.
Does the student know what their power is or not yet?
They will know when the person dies.
When the person dies. Oh.
Can I ask? Because I know not.
So it's
we have a lot
equivalent
of
to a
people.
doppelganger. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's a little like the doppelganger, but
Okay.
I was just gonna ask because I know we have a lot of people who haven't played in the same game together. But why would we kill Daniel on day 1? I know he did the one thing, but he's usually pretty good
I'm
at
always
pegging.
joking around. I will even use it later.
I voted
don't
down
care.
because Daniel said before the game started that he's going to play different, and he plays exactly like normal. So that means
Don't you always vote down on
lying.
Joseph, I haven't even played at the moment. I haven't done anything.
You said, "Oh, I'm gonna play different this game," and then you played exactly like normal and fooled around. So
That
I'm like,
means I'm joking around, but I'm not playing. I played. I voted up.
I just think Joseph seems surprisingly serious during that whole.
Joseph
thing.
is always serious until he starts being serious. He's always serious. Come on.
someone called for it as well. They wanted me and you to go at each other at the beginning, Daniel. So we're just giving the people what they
Actually,
want.
I got your back here. I got your back, Joseph. Come on.
It's good. Every game.
No, most of the times actually we're quiet about each other, and then out of a sudden,
We have cooled down.
It was like a few weeks ago.
Just all the recorded games that I've seen, I guess.
We played together so many games now. So
that's true.
Like, I just need to know: are you ready with a red light or what?
Hopefully, no. I mean,
he was going and checking it.
No, I was turning my fan off because I was a little chilly. But
Guys, are we still looking to kill someone tonight? And if so, any thoughts on who?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Joseph normally has percents on people. What's your percent situation going on?
Hold on, Ellie.
I have.
Tonight. We're still during the day.
I have 70% on Elliot.
Are you a wolf? You said you want to.
Oh,
who
wow.
we killing tonight?
I always.
You're always 70%.
Yeah, Elliot
on
starts
me.
on 70, so it doesn't mean anything. I have
Even these people are
55%.
suspecting him already.
I have 55% on Sarah, though.
I just want to hear
Sarah's
from
kind of
Sarah.
quiet. She ain't said nothing.
All right, I
Me?
nominate Sarah.
I second.
Man, Andrew's on fire here.
And we have infinite one, so I'm going to use the most I can.
So Sarah, defend yourself.
So I don't tend to talk a whole lot on the first day because I like to see what people are talking about. And again, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I am a villager. And I'm just kind of watching what people are saying. I, like Blake said, I was a little surprised at the vote for Daniel. Daniel seems to generally give good information down the road. So I tend to trust Daniel, but
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay, so we're voting.
We don't have to kill, guys.
Unlikely
Don't
story.
don't kill.
Well, it's not. It's only third vote. We could have as many as one as long.
Yeah, you can have as many votes as you want. And I am pausing during votes and nominations, so you're not losing time. So on a count of 3, vote up to save Sarah, vote down to kill. You still need 11 to kill. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it looks like Guami's down, and that is all. You can unmute yourself. Sarah, you're still alive.
AR, who was also down.
You have a little bit of 3 minutes left.
Yeah. And then I will also say the last time I played with Daniel, he definitely he picked out a couple werewolves too. So yeah, definitely.
But that's because he was a villager.
Definitely keep him around,
right?
You usually give him to day 2, and he's
Yeah.
usually picking
At
somebody.
least, yeah, exactly, yeah. So let's see where he comes with. But
Yeah,
Who was the second on that?
Guami.
Guami.
Okay.
Why did you even ask?
Who's always the second?
All right, let's have fun with this. I nominate
And he's the
myself.
only one to vote it down.
Wait up. Wait up. Let's speak. Let's talk about a bit. Come on.
Hey,
Yahoo.
Doug, what are you thinking?
I have one suspicion right now. I am a plain villager. I've just been waiting for everyone to kind of finish talking. I know who I'd like to kind of ask to talk right after me.
Nominate them. I'll second
Okay,
it.
absolutely. I nominate Coroller for 2
Second.
reasons. He mentioned the wanting the seer to come out day 1. He could be just first couple games that he's played.
I wrote that down as well.
That was my
but,
only
But
suspicion.
also, he's been moving his hat a lot, so I think he's a little uncomfortable being a werewolf in one of his first games.
Okay, so Burler, you're on the block. Defend yourself.
Brother. All right. First off, Corraller. My name is Corraller. I know it's okay. I am new to playing this. I've watched a lot. My heart is racing because I've never actually played with people before, so it is a little bit intense. And I realized people that played Among Us can attest. I am not very good with acting suspicious while I'm innocent. I realized the second after I asked for the seer to come out, the way I asked it was so suspicious. And I'm glad you called on me so I can explain that was just a rookie mistake. There probably was a more tactful way of phrasing that wasn't like placing so much suspicion on me. But other than that, I am a villager. We don't have to vote someone out, and I would prefer to stay in a little bit later. I'm not a regular villager. That's all I can say.
before we vote, can we know how much more time's left in this round? So we kind of know if we can come back to someone.
You have 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So if we nominate fast, we can.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to mute everyone now. So we're voting on. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Corraller.
Corral. I don't care. Yeah.
Corraller. Okay. We have 11. You have to have 11 to kill. And so thumbs up to save, thumbs down to kill. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got Sarah up, Sam up, Greg up. Yahoo's down, Ryan's down, Lee's down, Doug's down, Chef's down. That's 5, 6 with Blake, 7 with Alex, 8, 9, not enough. That was close though. You can unmute yourself and I will restart the clock.
So I'm gonna have my standard question here. Yahoo, why are we voting down on everyone?
Why? Yeah, I was gonna ask the same.
He's doing that a lot, so he doesn't mean that much.
Not
but-
one person.
You did
Well,
the last game, but
hold on.
that's enough.
He did not vote down on Daniel.
I voted to save you, Daniel, and you're coming at me already.
No. I'm not coming at you. I'm just asking for an explanation.
So I definitely am a villager, and I want to play well. And I'm not going to talk about the last game because that was the last game. I'm not even going to say I played well last game. But I wrote down on my notes, the Corrailer called for the Seer, and in his defense, he said one of the classic things that people say, oh, I'm new to the game and I'm nervous, which almost always when that defense is used, they're a werewolf. It just felt, and here's the thing, like, so for the record, it's never personal. If like I'm
Beat it up,
wrong, it can happen. But the thing is, all I have to go with is what I see in the game. And you would be nervous if you were a werewolf on your first game. And you might be like, crap, things are going badly.
So because
Starting
we
to
have
drop.
very little time,
We have like 45 seconds.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick. Remember what Yahoo says, and I'll ask him a question next day. Okay, if I survive.
Yep.
I nominated Yahoo.
No.
I'll second.
No.
No, don't do that.
Do we want to kill or we want to go?
save it.
I don't want to kill.
Oh,
I don't want to kill.
Yahoo, defend yourself to these accusations.
Well, it's the things that I just said. I am a villager, and I voted down on Guami because Guami's a wild card, and then I voted up for Daniel because I believed him, and I voted down for. Well, I did vote down for Sarah. I didn't have a lot to go on. It's like 55-45. Okay, I'm going to vote down for her, and then I voted down on Corrailer because he was the person. Like I'm like 80% on him. Like, oh my word, the needle's over here.
Okay, we're voting on Yahoo.
You have 30 seconds to nominate again.
Okay. You still need 11 to kill. Thumbs up to save Yahoo, thumbs down to kill him. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Greg's down. Chef's down. And that is it. So 2, you're still alive, Yahoo. And you can unmute yourself, and we have 30 seconds.
I nominate myself.
Corrailer.
Who nominated who?
I nominate myself.
Nominated himself.
I'll second it.
Who did you nominate, Andrew?
Myself.
And Yahoo seconded? Okay.
I want to see how people are going to vote on me.
We don't have that much time, though.
Waste of time.
Oh, we've got plenty of time. We've got like 7 votes in one day. It's amazing.
Stopping the clock.
Yeah, we still have like.
You're right to defend yourself. Why do you want to?
I just want to see how people are going to vote on me. Do they think I'm nervous like Guami does every day, or they have suspicion of me even though I'm just a villager?
Okay, cool.
The more votes we have, the more information we have. So
I'm gonna vote down just because you did that weird thing when we have this much time.
No, we got plenty of time.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
You're a werewolf.
We have this much time left. Okay. 11 to kill. So thumbs up to save, thumbs down to kill on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Sam down, Greg down, Yahoo down, Guami down, Lee down, Russ down, Chef down, Blake down, Alex down, Jason down. Oh, that is 10, I believe. Is that? Just gonna recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. It is a tie, and Andrew is still alive. You almost killed him.
Wasting time.
All right, I'm suspicious of Yosef.
Wasting precious time.
I nominated Yahoo so that I could then ask for a tribunal. That was my reasoning.
Oh.
I'll nominate Corrailer again.
Was there a second, sorry?
I'll second.
Okay, Doug seconds. Defend yourself again.
Just think back to what I said a few minutes ago. I'm still figuring everybody out. I voted up on everybody because I have no idea who to trust and who not to trust. Even Andrew just voted himself. I voted up. I don't know what's going on. I would like to stick around for a little bit longer to figure it out. But vote however you will.
Okay. You need everyone. So on a count of 3, up to save, down to kill. You need 11 to kill. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Greg down, we have Yahoo down, Brian down, Yosef down, Lee down, Doug down, Russ down, Chef down, Blake down, Alex down, and that is 12. Sorry, you are dead. Everyone can unmute for a second. And you have killed a werewolf.
Woo!
Wants to sleep though? Can you please, everyone, just kind of check your messages?
You should mute everyone.
I may be sending out a message to everyone. Just kind of look over. Okay.
Please mute everyone as well, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm going to mute everyone before we go to sleep. And I'm just going to do this. Hide non-video participants. Okay, everyone can go to sleep. And I'm muting everyone. Okay. Well, that was a little disappointing for the werewolves in the first day, but you guys get some revenge today. Can I have my werewolves wake up? Who would you like to kill? When I have consensus, or sorry, when I have a majority, I will give you a thumbs up to confirm. So just let me know who you are targeting tonight. Okay, it looks like we have a verdict. Okay, you can go to sleep. Can I get my witch to wake up? This person is being targeted tonight. Do you want to save them? Okay. Witch, would you like to use your kill potion? Okay, Witch, you can go to sleep. Seer, wake up. Who would you like to look at? That person is this. Okay. Seer, you can go to sleep. My private investigator, can you wake up, please? Would you like to use your power? Okay. If you have chosen to use your power, can you give me a name or number? And I will tell you if any of the neighbors and them are werewolves. Okay, private investigator, you can go to sleep. Okay, everybody should be asleep and everybody is waking up. Before, I'm just going to keep everyone muted though. Can everyone, first of all, we have to say goodbye to a very nice person. Russ, you have died in the night. Russ was a villager. Can everyone just check their messages just to make sure so if the student followed Russ? Okay, and that is all that happened during the night. Everyone can unmute themselves and start going. I'm going to give you a little less than I gave you before. I'm going to give you 14 minutes.
By the way, it is better that we nominate quickly second and then vote and get more votes, because the more votes we have, the more information we have than just talking.
Yeah, but then it's chaotic. Then it's chaotic.
Yeah,
Then we...
give a minute before nominations in case anyone wants to say anything like the private investigator or something like that.
I want to say something. Ayahu, you are on my villager list now. And
good.
Who nominated the werewolf?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Alex
nominated the first time.
Doug did it the first time.
Yeah.
Alex and Doug, you're on my villager list as well.
I'm going to be right back.
I mean, werewolves can do that, but not this early.
Yahoo, I know.
Also second him the first time.
Yahoo, I know you take good notes.
I don't care about seconds because that can be werewolves, but.
So do you know who voted up in the last to kill the werewolf? I couldn't get them all.
So Sarah voted up. Greg voted
I
up.
voted up. I voted up on everyone though. So
Daniel voted up.
I voted up, yes. Well, yeah.
I voted up as well.
Andrew and Jason. I would also like to point out that if you are counting people as villagers for nominating and seconding Corraler, then Guami should go on that list because he seconded in the first time. Well, he always seconded.
But seconds can be werewolves.
Yeah.
Totally ignore that.
And it's Guami.
Ignore that.
Even Guami recognizes.
I'm more suspicious of people seconding werewolves than nominating werewolves.
Oh, really?
I also wanted to say one thing about the private investigator. So you can do whatever you will with your role, but my strategy advice is that you should wait until like day 3 or 4 and then use it, because you want to give the information out right away, but you don't necessarily want to clear a bunch of key people right away. So
that's why we have the curse. Yeah.
Like the right
I would like to ask a question. Actually, 2 questions. First one is, who asked about who voted up?
I did.
Thank you, Ryan. And the second question is, remember what Yahoo was saying about who he thinks is okay or not? So do you think that people who try to, let's say, get on the good side with a player are suspicious to you or not, Yahoo? That's specifically for you as a question.
Say it again.
So people who try to get on the good side on a player, do you think that they're suspicious?
Oh, I don't know. I never know with Joseph. He's like a never-ending confusion.
I'm not talking about Joseph.
Yeah. He tried to get on my good side. Immediately said, "Steven, you're on my villager list."
Yeah, but I'm very relaxed this game.
I don't know how to answer that.
No,
think that
I'm not thinking about Joseph, and I'm not even. He's not on my suspects list. So
well, my answer to your question is that I think it could go either way, because I feel like I look like a villager right now. And so, like, you would want to be on my good side, but I don't think it necessarily.
For example, if I'm a villager, I would never say that. I would never say like,
But Daniel, you just tried to get on my good list. So.
No, I didn't. I just said that you're not on my suspect list, and that's all. That's all. Nothing else. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're on my
I
suspect
think
list.
Joseph is good, it's bad, or something like that. So I just said you're not on my suspect list. That doesn't mean that I'm on your good side, and I should be. But there was something said first day one. That's
just Daniel. You know my philosophy. Just say it. Why play games?
No, not now. Not now. We're gonna be going into chaotic nominations now.
Like anybody can die at any time. Like
I think that question is asked from Blake almost every game when he plays with Daniel.
Well, because he always does that. He's like, I'm trying to, and it's like, just say it.
Yeah, because Daniel's suspicions are usually pretty good. Usually at least 50%.
Yeah, I may not have any suspicions. I may be a werewolf as well.
Well, what was all that build up? You literally
Daniel, I don't
gave
think you're
like
a werewolf.
30 seconds of build up, and then.
Jason's trying to get on Daniel's good side.
No, I don't need to get on anybody's good
I
side.
didn't think
really
that.
want to hear from Sarah, because now the first day is over. She says she likes to be quiet first day. I wonder what she thinks. And also Adele's been awfully quiet over there. I ain't heard him say one word this whole time. He's like the drunk uncle that's always has beer in the corner and just passes out every day.
Well, for what it matters, Jason Sarah is always quiet when she plays, and Alex as well. Just to say it before you, not Alex Daly, but Alex S. Service.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Adele is usually a bit more.
And Greg is always quiet as well.
So Adele, you're voting up werewolves again. So I want to get your take.
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't think I could live with myself if he was a villager, because if he was new and he was a villager,
yeah,
killed him like that.
That's tough.
That
was the only thought.
That's what I did as well. So yeah,
I bought into it.
That. Yeah.
Well, he has voted up for literally everyone. So I'm not saying that makes you suspicious. I'm saying like it's consistent with what he's saying.
Yeah.
I didn't want to vote the new guy out, but he was by far my biggest suspicion.
No, he gave every werewolf sign possible. But like...
And you still voted to keep him?
Yeah, I still voted him. I know.
That was good between
Adele.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that a nomination?
Yeah,
yeah.
Was it a nomination?
I seconded.
Who nominated?
Who nominated?
Me.
Chef is nominating Adele.
Chef?
No,
Chef and Andrew?
No,
I didn't nominate.
Jason.
I asked if there
Jason.
was a nomination because I didn't hear it. That's right. Yeah.
Jason nominated and Andrew seconded.
Well, that works
right?
too.
Is that right?
Okay.
Jason, did
Yeah,
you
Jason nominated Anderson. That's what I saw.
I nominated Adele because he just said he gave all the possible signs, but he still voted up. So I mean, I don't know.
So Adele,
Kind of hold on yourself.
It wasn't Adele that said that, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did say it. I did say yes. But
Adele,
my defense is pretty much what I said, that I felt bad if he was new. I didn't want to kick a new person out on their first day. It's not a.
What's about to happen again?
I'm not new. I've played a couple of times, so I'm
we're going to the vote. There are 18 people, I believe. So that means you need 10 to kill. On a count of 3. Oh, sorry, I gotta pause the timer. On a count of 3, you vote up or down, up to save, down to kill. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have 1 down from Sam, 2 down from Yahoo, 3 down from Lee, 4 down from Jason, and 5 down from Elliot. That is not enough. You can unmute yourself, and I'll give you a couple more seconds for you to pause.
I just want to say I've played a few games with Adele, and not to do the whole meta thing, but he is often on the wrong side of history with votes, and so that would be a good cover if he is
Fair
a
enough.
werewolf. But
I am an
votes.
awful player. Like that's not.
I'd like to hear from
and
Lee because he's voting down a lot.
Well, I have a small circle of trust right now, and I think we need to keep the game moving. So we can't do that if we're voting up on everyone.
Small circle of trust. That's such a weird comment.
I have a small circle of distrust too. I would nominate. Actually, I will just go ahead and hard nominate Andrew again. 15.
Andrew, okay, we have a first and Andrew's a second. Joseph will second. Okay, Andrew, defend yourself.
I'm just a villager, and that's honestly I don't care if I die from the village because you won't lose a roll, so it's fine. But I'm definitely a villager, and I don't know. I've just been trying to get more votes.
Nominate yourself last time
for fun. No one usually does.
Okay, so we're voting on Andrew. I'm gonna need everyone. Okay, so we need, it's still 10 to kill. Vote up to save Andrew, vote down to kill. On a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Sam down, Ryan down, Joseph down, Lee down, Kwame down, Chef down, Blake down, Alex down, Jason down. I just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is enough. Well, I'm very sorry, but you guys have killed a villager. Before you go to sleep, just check your chat to see if there's any messages for you. Okay. I will be sending those out. Okay, everyone go to sleep though. I'm gonna mute everyone. Well, you guys had a good first day, but a bad second day. You're just killing off villagers now. I am going to ask for the werewolves to wake up. Werewolves, who would you like to kill today? Okay, we have a target. Wolves, you can go back to sleep. Can I have my witch wake up? Witch, this person is being targeted. Would you like to save them? Okay. Witch, you have a kill potion. Would you like to use it? Okay, Witch. If you have chosen to use your kill potion, who would you like to target? Okay, Witch, thank you very much. You can go to sleep. Can I have my seer wake up? Seer, you can check somebody tonight. Who would you like to look at? Okay, that person is this. Okay. Seer, you can go to sleep. Okay. Private investigator, can I have you wake up? Would you like to use your power? Okay, private investigator, if you want to use your power, tell me who. Okay. If I give you a thumbs up, there's a werewolf. If I give you a thumbs down, there's not. Private investigator, go to sleep. Okay, well, everyone wake up. You can unmute yourselves. And you have, I'm just going to send message to people. So just make sure to check your messages.
So no one died?
First turn.
Walk around and you do not see any dead bodies. So assume that no one has died.
Okay, so here we go. I'm the seer. I check Blake. Blake is a werewolf.
Okay, well, I think you're bluffing about that, but I'm the Lycan, so.
Oh!
So you checked other people as well, obviously.
Wait, you
right?
cannot say that you're the Lycan, so you're
Oh,
obviously lying. You are a
No,
werewolf.
he knows that he's the Lycan.
He does know it, but he wasn't supposed
No,
to say it.
but he wasn't supposed to say it, and I'm not sure that he missed that. So yeah, I'll nominate Blake.
Wait, Daniel, if you claim the seer, you gotta have a total list, man. You can't just.
Yeah,
say
you
one
should
thing.
have more people you're coming out with first.
Night 0, Jason, Villager. Night 1, Joseph, Villager. Night 2, Blake, werewolf.
And I know Daniel, Joseph, and Ryan are all villagers.
I do think that happened last night.
Wait.
I nominate Blake.
Wait. Oh, that's suspicious, Daniel, if you do it like that. Wait.
All right.
Okay.
Jason just
I'm
came
waiting.
out and you're trying to sidewalk him. Come on. What is that?
What do you mean?
He didn't come out.
What?
Jason just came out.
He does private investigator.
Let's get his information before we nominate anyone.
He just gave us the information.
He just cleared 3 people.
Yeah, but I need to write it down. So what did you say?
Yeah. So who said it? And
6, 7, 8 are villagers.
Okay.
7, 8 are villagers.
Okay, so you clear Daniel basically.
Who said it?
Yeah.
18.
Jason.
Okay, so Daniel. Ryan.
Which
And
is
me,
true.
obviously.
Always a villager.
I'll just point out that the conversation at night was different last night, which led me to believe that had happened. And the fact that he came out seems to confirm.
Does anyone else want to claim private investigator?
I do.
Anyone else except Kwame?
Anybody except Kwame.
Let's go.
So if you're the seer and Daniel is lying, which I don't think so, then in that case you shouldn't come out now.
I don't think
I will say it does seem very odd for Daniel to come out this early.
I don't think he's lying. And the thing is, like, he's been cleared by
lying.
Jason as well. So
you don't think he's lying? You think Daniel's right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do I.
Because Daniel is afraid to die early.
If I die, I die. But
Daniel is afraid to die early because he knows the meta.
It's too early. No, it's too early. But my suspicion, this is why I checked Blake, because we don't have a bodyguard, and we may not necessarily have the witch because he or she may have been killed. He may be.
Here's what happened last
I just
night.
want to say my next suspicion. My next suspicion is because I have a suspicion list running. Are Greg and Chef. Chef was trying to get on my good side in day 0, and Greg is I don't know. I'm just suspicious.
I'm always suspicious.
Also, I don't know what to say about Guami this game. I'll be honest about that. And yeah, Guami, I don't know.
No, you nailed me last time I was a
Jason,
werewolf.
did you have anything else to say?
I'm not sure.
Listen, the only reason I said that about you because that's actually did happen, right? I mean, this is my second game with you guys. That's it. So the first game I played, and to be honest, I came out and nominated a lot of people. I got kicked. I got voted out fairly early, right? And then this game, I'm trying to change up a little bit because I'm a villager. I don't want to leave so early.
Yeah.
At the last game the last game you did hit 2 people, which was awesome, which was great. And I just mentioned that. That's all I did.
I say this because I'm just scared that I'm gonna die early.
Right, we don't have a bodyguard. So
can we hear from Jason?
So Daniel called out Blake. I think.
But anyways, that's why I did.
Yeah, but wait, we don't need to hurry a bit, Blake. Jason, did you have anything else to say?
I was just going to talk about last night. So what happened last night? The witch either used their power or the tough guy was targeted. Those are only two options for last night.
Not
No,
true.
deceased.
Yeah, they're gonna hit the
Deceased.
The
curse.
diseased or the cursed.
No, disease would still die.
Oh,
Yeah,
Russ,
they could
Russ
hit the
could have been
curse.
deceased.
Curse would not have died. So
Russ could have been
If the
deceased.
previous night was the disease,
Damn it,
then the
Daniel,
werewolves
I
would be
nominate Blake.
sick this night.
I just wanted to say about Blake, him speaking about Adele voting this or that the last game. That was something that Blake, so nothing personal, dude. I would never check you. I believe you most of the times, but I checked you just because you were thinking.
You checked me. Come on.
I checked you. I always check you every time. For you, it's the opposite.
I must say, Jason.
I nominate Blake.
I must say,
thinking, Chef. I think Chef is. I heard the same thing from him with me, and Blake did that with Adele, saying he was voting up and down and stuff like that.
I must say, Jason, that was an excellent check as a private
But
investigator.
I might be
because
wrong
you get
about Chef, I don't
Ryan,
know.
Daniel, and me in the same thing.
So for Chef, I don't have information. Greg, Greg, I'm suspicious of because he's super quiet, and I said that he's quiet most of the time, but he's like quiet,
extra super quiet. Yeah,
extra super quiet. Yeah.
So
And
Daniel,
Bomi, I don't know
before
what to say about Bomi. I know he's a wild card maybe, but again, I'm somehow suspicious of him. But again,
Daniel.
I may be wrong about everybody. Yeah.
Before this day ends, I want to know what the second person you checked was again.
So first night, second was Jason. First night was
No, I thought Jason was your first night. Joseph was your second.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Joseph was second.
Yeah, thank you.
The other thing is, I played a couple games with Blake, not to go meta, but every time he's always calling out on people to talk. And this is the first game where he's kind of sat back, been a little quiet, and hasn't even called on anyone.
Well,
saying,
it's
hey,
super obvious
I just want
at
you
this
to
point.
talk.
I have a question. Is the tough guy only have 2 lives during the day, or is that
there is no
extended
tough
night
guy
too?
until we get
No,
to
he becomes a tough wolf.
The
Wait,
tough
what?
guy
No.
is
So the student can become a tough wolf. There is no
tough guy.
tough wolf right
Tough
now.
guy.
There's no tough guy right
He
now.
can't become a wolf.
If the student followed a werewolf, then when the werewolf died, the student would become a tough guy.
Right.
Was my understanding.
Yeah, not a wolf.
Okay.
Not a wolf.
Gotcha. That
So
makes sense.
basically, the student could have followed Coraller because we did kill a werewolf. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, I still nominate Blake. I'm following Daniel.
I'll second.
First one, we have a second and Daniel. Okay, Blake, defend yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm only super talkative when I'm a basic villager. So when I have a role, I am a little quieter. This is the first game I played where said role is not supposed to mention said role. So I write nothing down. So that's my bad. So maybe you should go ahead and kill me if I, broke the rules anyways. So.
Okay, we have, how many people do we have? We have 16, 17 people, is that right? Am I counting right? 17, I believe, so we need 9 to kill. Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone for the vote here. So, on the count of 3, we're gonna either vote thumbs up to save Blake, thumbs down to kill. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Sarah's down, Sam's down, Greg's down. I'm just gonna start counting people who are up, and it looks like Blake is the only one who is up. I'm sorry, Blake, you have died. And the village has killed a werewolf. Okay, before you go to sleep though, can everyone just check their messages? Okay, I might be typing something out to you. Okay, everyone close your eyes and go to sleep. Okay. I am going to have my werewolves wake up. Okay. Werewolves, who would you like to kill? Sorry, can I just get a confirmation on that? Is that what everybody wants? Okay. Wolves, you can go to sleep. Can I have my witch wake up? Witch. This person is being targeted tonight. Would you like to save them? Okay, witch. Thank you. Witch, would you like to use your kill potion? Okay, Witch. You can go to sleep. Or sorry, if you have to tell me, just let me know. Okay, Witch, go to sleep. Okay. Can I have my seer wake up? Seer, you can go to sleep. Thank you. Can I have my private investigator wake up? Okay, thank you, private investigator. Let me know if you want to check. Private investigator, you can go back to sleep. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can I have everyone wake up? Except
I just want to say I'm not the seer.
Oh, okay, well.
What? You just got that one like that?
You shouldn't really talk yet.
I'm gonna just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait.
You guys do find a body, and it is Sarah. Sarah has died. Sarah was a villager. You can unmute, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes now.
So, Daniel, what's going on?
I'm playing different.
Yeah, what do you think?
He's just too good. He doesn't need to be the
He
seer.
did get a werewolf, so he is good. However, that means that you're not actually cleared.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Sure, but that's the way I'm interpreting.
I'm cleared by Jason, by the way. So.
Oh yeah, that is true. You
Oh,
are
that's
cleared.
true. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, Jason cleared Daniel, Ryan, and Joseph.
Yeah. So
Daniel, stop fooling around. This is a serious game.
I'm
Come
not
on.
fooling around. We killed a werewolf. Not.
He did good because he got a werewolf and he didn't out the seer. Like we still have a seer. It's
So
excellent.
Daniel is the beholder. Okay.
Maybe
Doesn't have to be.
That would make
Maybe.
sense.
Who knows? Yeah.
So basically, Daniel is not.
This is how Globby feels every game.
Let's go here. So
Go,
Daniel-
he called out everything right.
Ryan,
Daniel-
Daniel, and
hold
me
on.
are still clear. So.
And I don't think so.
Yes.
I think
Yeah, they
Daniel could have thrown us off, right? Because Daniel said he cleared Jason night 0. If he's not the seer, that means Jason's not cleared. I mean,
didn't
Jason
clear
technically
anybody.
couldn't have been, might not be the PI, right? He might be a werewolf.
I am.
Daniel.
You, Daniel, and Joseph.
Oh, I believe Jason. That's too.
I believe Jason
That's too
also.
far. Like
I believe
Because I checked seven.
Move
I
to
checked
after
Daniel because we're
with
interaction,
Sarah.
just like he checked me the first night because our interaction the first day.
Yeah,
We were
sure,
suspicious of each other.
All right.
Daniel,
So
don't
he
throw
checked
the
me.
game
Does
just
make
because
sense.
you want to have fun.
I'm not.
Oh, hold on.
I'm
hold
not
on.
throwing the game. I nominated and we killed a werewolf.
Yeah, but how would
He
you
was
know that if
first
you're
in
not
my-
the seer?
He was first on my suspicion list.
How would you know that
Okay,
if you're not the
so-
seer?
Well,
Okay. I was
he
ju- I
had a
was-
Just
suspicion
said it
and
was
he
on his
was right.
suspicion list.
He
So
could have been
Kwame-
wrong, but he wasn't this time.
Kwame, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, so if there is a seer, if they checked Daniel, Joseph, and or Jason, and one of them is a werewolf, those three are probably working together. They're all probably werewolves. But if one of them is a villager, then yeah, I think all their stories check out. And they're
Yeah,
good.
it doesn't like
Yeah.
those
'Cause that'd
advanced.
be that would be some
Those
pretty
advanced
elaborate.
werewolf
demonstration.
plays
Yeah,
never
that
happen
crazy,
because they
yeah.
can't communicate during the night that much.
Well, and oddly enough, like Ryan, you would have likely been my next target, except you were actually one of the people that was cleared by the PI, and you're like, it's a lie. And
I'm
so
not
you would
saying
have
it's a
been
lie.
totally-
I'm saying it's a possibility, right? Throwing out all possibilities out there.
Well, for the record,
Ryan,
when somebody
you
says
know
you're
if you're
good
a
and you
villager.
say that's a lie, that's a good way to look suspicious.
Ryan,
But
you do
you
know
were-
if you're a villager, right?
I
work
know
weird.
I'm a villager.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I do too.
I'm always a
just saying,
villager.
If
All right.
it didn't happen to be that you were the one being cleared, I would totally
Oh my
be
God.
voting for you right now.
I think I understand what Daniel did there, so that's kind of cool actually. But the problem, Daniel, is that you're still gonna get killed by the werewolves, I guess, because like you know you're a cleared villager.
You made it this long. I mean, that's
Listen, I may be a cursed villager, and then when I die by them, I'm gonna be still alive. Who knows? You know.
I didn't
So
think
my-
children.
Kwame, hey man, I just understand how you play. I mean, I understand your way of thinking, and I like it, dude. Nobody now knows why
He's
I'm
too quiet down there. He's smiling.
The curse could have
He's
already
got a
turned on night
grin.
two.
I can
I
actually
don't
be
trust Alice right
the
now.
seer as well.
Who what?
Nobody knows. I may
What
be
did
the
Jason
seer.
say?
I want to
What
hear
did
from
Jason say?
Alex.
Oh,
He's too
Which one?
quiet.
Alex is super quiet. Yeah.
You're muted.
Both
One
are kinda
next
quiet.
to me, not 17.
Yep. Yeah,
You haven't
I'm
said
tending
anything
to
this whole
believe
match.
that Daniel's good at picking, so I trust Daniel.
Oh. That's another one
rest
going
is,
by my good side.
You know, like 60-40 for me as far as the explanations on the rest of the people. So, and I'm not good at picking up on cues, so you know, it's
okay.
You know,
I'm going to nominate Lee.
There's too many things Daniel could be.
I'll second.
Other
That's
than
true.
a plain villager, but who knows?
We have a second on Lee. We have a first.
Yeah,
I was the first. I nominate Lee.
Joseph, you second, I believe.
Yeah, Alex as well. Alex Daly.
Okay, Lee, defend yourself.
Well, I'm not sure, other than being quiet, why I'm being nominated, but I'll go ahead and say my circle of trust right now. Yahoo, Doug, Alex Daly, Sarah was in it, but she's dead now. So that's my circle of trust. Those are the people I think are good. I'll vote down on anybody else. So
how about me?
So the people that are cleared, you don't trust?
Even?
Yeah, that's a given. Yes, I trust the people who are clear.
Are you saying you're the seer?
No.
Okay, we're muting everyone. So currently we have 15 people in the village. So that means we need a vote of 8 to kill. Anything less than Al and Lee will be saved. You guys have more than 5 minutes left. So thumbs up to save Lee, thumbs down to kill Lee on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Yahoo down, Joseph down, Doug down, Alex Daly down, and that is 4. Am I counting 4? Is that correct? I think that is all. So that is not enough.
Okay, so I nominate Lee again. Lee is a werewolf. I know that.
Yeah, we cannot do that.
You can't be nominated twice in a row.
Okay, let's nominate someone else because he's a werewolf. I know that.
I just want to say this. My number one suspect at the moment, if that matters at all, because I'm sure that I'm gonna be dying. Although I would say to the werewolves, don't kill me yet. You might be surprised.
No.
So Chef is my on the
Okay.
first
Lee was the
place,
curse.
and then Greg.
Lee was the cursed. He turned 2 nights ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
There is a way to know that.
I would like you to explain that. I don't really see why you wouldn't.
Oh.
Do I need to explain it? I think you guys can figure it out.
I'd like to know.
But it's better if you guys figure it
I
out.
think he's a
Okay,
werewolf too.
wait, okay.
Just
Well,
curious what your logic is.
Yeah, that
Oh.
seems to be the only way you would know is if you were a werewolf, and suddenly
No,
he
I
opened
get
his
it,
eyes.
I get it.
No,
Okay,
there's
okay,
no
I need.
possibility.
Okay, so I need to explain it. Okay, so I'm the
I know,
witch.
I get it.
I'm the
think I
witch
know,
guy.
yeah.
I killed Sarah last night.
Right.
I'm sorry, Sarah, you were a villager, but I was so suspicious of you. The reason I killed Sarah is because they targeted Daniel last night. So I thought Daniel was a seer, obviously, so I chose to protect Daniel. And I'm not going to sit around with a kill potion in my hand and not be able to protect myself. So I'm going to use the kill potion at the same time, which means I killed Sarah, which was wrong because she was a villager. And Daniel thinks this is funny. I saved you, Daniel.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude.
I saved you, man. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
night 2, Lee was targeted, but nobody died. And the only way that can happen.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
it would be
Joseph. Yeah, I figured that
Yeah.
as much. So yeah.
He was
Okay,
the curse.
well,
He turned. I didn't protect him, so.
Let's nominate then. Let's nominate. Let's say Ryan. Okay.
Good job. I second that.
I like it.
Ryan, defend yourself.
I'm not even going to write this one down.
In the yellow suit.
Do you want to defend yourself, Ryan, or should we vote?
I'm a villager. Go ahead and vote.
Jason, nice.
Everyone, we're voting on Ryan. So thumbs up to save Ryan, thumbs down to kill. We need a vote of 8 to kill. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Guami votes down, Lee votes down, and that is 2. That's not enough. Okay, you can unmute yourself.
Again, Kwame, didn't you learn from last time?
Again, Lee voted down, so I vote for Lee.
We have a second on Lee.
Oh, so, yeah.
Okay, Lee, defend yourself.
Nope.
Sorry, Lee. I'm sorry.
That's great.
I'm gonna mute. Okay, so on the count of 3, vote up to save Lee, vote down to kill Lee. 1, 2, 3. That looks to be unanimous. Lee has died, and you have killed the werewolf. Before you go to sleep, just check your messages. Okay, everyone go to sleep. Everyone's still muted. Okay, that's good. So maybe that's it. Is that all the werewolves? Am I just copying Tom Vassel's famous statements? Maybe. Well, let's just wake them up and see if there's any werewolves left. Is there any werewolves left? Oh, okay, maybe. No, I don't know if I see anyone, but if you are alive, who would you like to eat on? Okay. Werewolves, you can go to sleep. Witch, wake up. This person is being targeted tonight. Would you like to save them? Okay, thank you. If you'd like to use your kill potion, let me know who you like to kill. Okay, Witch, you can go to sleep. Seer, wake up. Okay, Seer, let me know who you want to check. Okay, Seer. I am going to let you know who that person is right now. Okay, Seer, you can go back to sleep. Private investigator, wake up. If you'd like to check somebody, who would you like to check? Okay, thumbs up, there's a werewolf. Thumbs down, there's not. Private investigator, go to sleep. Everyone wake up. Okay. Seems like it's a day late, but Daniel, you have passed away of not natural causes. You have been ripped to shreds. Seems like they, really wanted to get you.
So Russ was not the disease.
So before you wake up, though, I'm just gonna.
Disease is still alive.
Means yeah, disease is still alive.
And they should not come out. Come on.
No, but should we? If
Okay,
the seer
so-
has anything, should the seer though? So they got 5 nights worth of information if they're not dead.
The real seer could. I think the real seer
Please
could
stand
take
up.
one more night because they have no idea who it is.
Yeah.
That's why they
That's
went after
true.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Unless the real seer has like 2 werewolves that are alive.
I really
then-
hope. I really hope Daniel is the disease.
Or Joseph, you're clearing 5 people that haven't been cleared already, right? That's
Yeah.
really narrows down the pool, right?
Yeah, if the real seer has really good info.
Well, I
then-
would say even 3 people that haven't been cleared already.
I'm
Correct. I
guessing
would agree.
Daniel was the beholder and knew that the real
he
seer
was.
was dead.
Yeah, he was. 100%.
And I would. And
He
I
was
would
laughing
probably
so
say,
hard when I said
even
I
if they
saved
have,
him.
even if they have 1 werewolf and 4 village, that's really good odds. I would definitely come out if you have that.
Yeah, I would say if you have 1 werewolf
Yeah.
in nothing else, that would be enough.
Yeah.
I think Andrew might have been our.
We're doing
seer.
really well, so yeah.
Yahoo.
Yeah, what up?
Who was in the circle of trust of Lee? I know I was in there, but who,
Andrew
who
would
were
have
the
said
people?
He named me.
Seems like
Alex,
He named
Sarah.
3 people, and I only caught 2 of them down.
thought it was
One of
Yahoo,
them was Alex Daly and myself. And who was
Okay.
the third?
Wasn't it Doug?
He named
Me.
me. Yeah.
Me.
I thought the 3 people that he named, I thought all were the ones that voted down for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He was pretty obviously a werewolf.
Well, I will say that I was suspicious of Lee from the beginning, and not for particularly good reasons. Just it seemed like he was bad.
I
He
gambled.
made a
though.
lot of weird comments. He downvoted a lot. He got Andrew killed.
I didn't want to gamble because if Lee was the student and he went after Coreller died as a werewolf, then Lee would have been a tough guy, but then he would have died the next day. That's why I had to wait 1 more day. But at that time, I knew he must be a werewolf. He must have turned. He was the curse.
I'll clarify the tough guy, though. The tough guy has 2 lives, basically.
Oh, isn't that the one that bleeds for a day and then dies?
No, that is.
you have to,
He
you have to
has
hang him
2
twice.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I got lucky.
I think it's quite differently, but yeah.
I think we're probably down to ordinary villagers and 1 or 2 werewolves. At this
So
point.
right
Well,
now,
Joseph's alive.
I'm cleared.
It's not the witch.
Daniel is dead. Ryan is cleared. Jason is cleared. So we only have 3 cleared people, basically.
Yep.
Alex,
Somebody was asking about the circle of trust from was it Lee?
yeah.
Because Lee was a werewolf. So what does that
Yeah.
even mean?
I was trying to see if
I'll
just
give
named-
you 1 more if you want.
probably just threw
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you threw
people.
1 werewolf in there to throw off suspicion.
I want to come. I want to come out with some information.
Okay.
I was the student. I picked Daniel. Daniel was the beholder, and the seer was Sarah.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
snap.
no.
Man.
Come on, Elliot. Don't
Shit.
say that.
I don't trust Joseph. No.
That's why. That's why Daniel laughed so hard, because he knew I killed the seer. Oh,
no.
Oh
damn.
wow. Well,
Oh,
that
wow.
clears Elliot, because that all makes sense.
Alright.
So
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So.
Wow, I'm such a bad witch.
Back to Adele.
First game I've seen
I
you as a
saved
witch,
the
so.
beholder and I killed the seer at the same night.
Yeah, that is actually the worst.
It's supposed to go the other way, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, this is,
There's
oh,
their
this
name.
is-
Witches really are bad.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So-
They're only in it for themselves.
So then I'm going to go back
The
to
East and West witches are.
I'm going to go back to Daniel's suspicion list, right? He had 2 on there, Greg and Chef. So-
Yeah. I'm impressed by Daniel. He pulled out a werewolf in Blake without even being the seer. That's a good job.
So from Daniel from the grave, I nominate for Daniel, Chef.
I've got, before we can I just say, I don't know if I'm right or not, but I got a suspicion list of 2 as well, which is Alex and Ayahu, just because a couple of times I felt they
Ayahu is weird, but he's always weird. Alex
out on
though
it
might be a
and
werewolf.
almost going for the people we sort of had cleared and
what?
Not daily. Alex service.
Which Alex?
You might be a werewolf in my
other
world.
one
And
daily.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm okay with with going after Chef, because Daniel's census is obviously on point tonight. So
I thought
Elliot, you said I went after people that were already cleared. I'm confused on that.
I might be wrong, but I think there were a couple of times when you both jumped on someone. It may just be the people I had sort of thought in terms of what I'd worked out.
No, the number one person I ran after was Corellar, and he was our first werewolf on day 1 that we got rid of. And then
I've had that way. But no, it's been the last day or 2 where I just got just there a couple of times when I think you and Alex both sort of acted together, and I just sort of felt that if there was
Okay, well, I 100%
any
trust
possible
you,
werewolf.
except for this nonsense about me being bad.
Yeah.
But then I will say that there was
list.
some confusion about some of the stuff that happened when the seer came out and kind of double cleared along with the private investigator, and it took me a while to juggle that and make sense of it. And it's possible that that's where some of the confusion came from. But I'm squared away on it, and I could give you the list of people that are awesome, and you're on that list, but you're making a mistake if you come after me.
I'm not saying I'm coming after you. Given that I've come out with a role, I know I'm on a werewolf hit list, so I'm sharing my suspicions now, so I've at least said my piece.
Well, go ahead and say who your other suspicions was. It was me and who? Alex?
me.
Alex Daly.
Okay.
Alex Daly.
I don't know why,
Alex
but
says you're not on there yet, but you want to volunteer for that.
I think Alice is good because he immediately jumped on Lee when I first said it. Like the
I've
first
jumped
one.
on Corrales. I've jumped on Lee.
Service is my suspicion.
I think service too.
Yep. And I think
Because-
I still think Chef. He's looking nervous.
I don't want to meta too much, but judging by the kills, killing Ross the first night, killing Lee, or trying to kill Lee, they didn't know that he was cursed. Second night, that kind of leans me towards Guami, Ayahu, Alex, S.
It's killing all the quiet people.
Yeah, that's good werewolves. Well, you know, a lot of people.
I don't know
werewolves.
why I'm being thrown in as a good werewolf. I have always been.
Yeah,
a
you're a bad werewolf. Yeah, I know that. But Guami and Alex S, that's suspicious to me. And Guami also tried to point out that the seer was dead for some reason. I don't know why.
Joseph, whoever you nominate, I'll second it.
Because the seer is dead.
I'm gonna nominate Alex Service. Sorry, Alex.
I'll second it.
That's fine. Yeah.
We have a first.
So
and
we're
second.
saying Lee was
I
the
second it.
curse.
Let's let Alex defend himself. Alex, defend yourself.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the roles. I'm just a villager, and I wouldn't know if I'm the lichen. You're
Yes,
saying
you
Lee
would.
must have been the cursed. I'm not sure how we deduce that, but there's the disease left. So, but I think the disease knows if they're the diseased, right? So
The lichen knows if they're a lichen too.
They did in this game. We were supposed to.
Oh, that's right. Blake said he was the lichen.
But he
But he
wasn't.
lied.
But he wasn't.
He wasn't.
He was a straight liar.
Okay, so right now we have, I believe, 13 people. Is that correct? So we need a vote of 7.
13. Yep.
Okay, so if you want to kill Alex, you need at least 7 or more. Thumbs up to save Alex. Thumbs down to. Sorry, I'm just going to stop the clock. Thumbs down to kill Alex. Thumbs up to save Alex. On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We have Sam down, Yahoo down, Ryan down, Joseph down, Kwame down, Doug down, Alex Daly down. So that is 9, I believe. So that is plenty. You have, Alex, you are dead and you have killed a werewolf. Okay, everyone, you can go to sleep. And you guys are all still muted. That's awesome. Wow, maybe that's it. You guys have killed a lot of werewolves. Can I have my werewolves wake up? Who would you like to kill? Okay, I understand. Werewolves, go to sleep. Can I have my witch wake up? This person is being targeted tonight. Would you like to save them? Okay, would you like to use your kill potion? And who would you like to use it on? Thank you, witch. Go to sleep. Seer, wake up. Who would you like to see? Okay, that person is this. Seer, go to sleep. Private investigator, wake up. Would you like to use your power? Okay, great. If they're all werewolves, I'll give you a thumbs down. If there's one werewolf, I'll give you a thumbs down. If they're all villagers, I'll give you a thumbs up. Private investigator, go to sleep. Okay, everyone wake up. Except Sam. I guess the werewolves maybe they thought he was a werewolf because of his beard, but he is not. He is a villager and he's dead. It's a very sad day.
I hate this role. Like, I have to see who's gonna die. Like, people.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, good people are gonna die. And Matthew keeps asking me, like, oh, do you want to save them? I'm like, stop asking me, Matthew.
You should say yes, but I can't.
I noticed that Greg and Adele both voted to save the last werewolf.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that vote, I know
Greg,
it's really,
Adele,
really
and
bad for me.
Chef. Greg,
And Chef
Adele,
as
and
well.
Chef voted to save, so they're
Yeah,
prime
but-
targets.
But also, guys,
that's usually a good
Usually when a
werewolf is
werewolf,
gonna
I hide
vote
my
down
vote
there.
later.
a good
Usually
werewolf
good
goes
werewolf
down.
is gonna vote down.
That's the thing. They would vote down.
Yeah, but
I
we
would
would
vote
clearly
down if I was a
identified
werewolf.
him as a werewolf, so why would you
Did
not
we?
vote down?
I don't think we did. I don't think he was definitely a werewolf. It was
Right.
like
No, that
I
was a
think
gamble.
that
That was a gamble.
yeah,
But
yeah. I think
I
it was
really
very
didn't think.
unclear.
I wanted to keep
Pretty well through.
And
You know?
I would, and why I voted out was he, like I said, there wasn't a clear thing that's a werewolf. 1, 2, we had time. We could have went back to him, depending on his answer and how he responded to a upvote, right? So then we could have went back and said, how did he respond? We could have saw maybe something like that. I just thought we had time. We could have hit more people. That's why I voted up.
So I will point out that Daniel was suspicious of Chef, and Daniel did excellent. So I would say for that reason alone, it coupled with the fact that he was on the wrong side of history is enough reason. So I will nominate Chef.
Daniel was
I'll
also
second.
suspicious of Greg.
I'll
as well.
second it.
I'll second.
Obviously,
So I'm saying I know this looks real bad for me and Chef here.
You want Chef, would you like to defend yourself against?
Yeah. So the reason why he was suspicious of me because I went with him earlier. Like I was saying, this is my second game with some of you and in this format. So to be honest, he did a great job last time. I went with him. People were saying, well, how do you know? I basically only said, hey, he hit 2 last game, right? I don't know if that's talking against me or for me, but no, but that's why I said that. And that's why he went against me. I don't quite understand that, to be honest with you. But besides that, I mean, that would be my defense against what Daniel said to me. Jumping on me consistently. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I've given away anything to do that except for his suspicion. right?
The other problem is
and
he
I'm
knew
a
who the
villager.
seer was. So if the seer had said something about you, he may have picked up on it.
But he wouldn't have known that, would he?
Yeah, he knew who the seer was.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she did.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that she was the seer.
Okay,
So,
we're voting
Yeah,
on
well, no one did.
Sarah was really,
He's
really
also
quiet.
he's stopped making breakfast.
We're voting on Chef. Okay, we have 11 people in the village, so you need a vote of 6. You guys have this much time left. Oh, sorry. You have about 6 minutes left. Vote up to save Chef, vote down to kill. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have Adele down, Yahoo down, Ryan down, Joseph down, Doug down, and Jason down. That is 6. Chef, you are dead. And congratulations, village. You have killed all the werewolves.
wow.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that was a
You need more
slaughter.
werewolves.
That was, yeah, that's not
That
how I
was
expected that to go at all.
Ouch.
That was an
Wow.
absolute
This game,
drubbing,
so-
man.
I
Ouch.
know
Way
I'm
to go,
suspicious,
Daniel.
people are suspicious all the time.
Daniel,
So I'm just gonna
MVP.
mute everyone and go through the
I
votes.
have to stop. I have to stop, really, guys. I'm just gonna.
Okay, I'm just gonna mute everyone. Okay, so Sarah was the seer. She actually checked, I believe she checked Joseph and Daniel, which is funny because had she come out, she really didn't have any information because it would have just confirmed Jason, who was the private investigator, who chose Daniel and got Ryan and Joseph in that, and they were all good. Which is really funny because when I looked at the setup, there was a lot of werewolves sitting beside each other. Because Chef and Blake were sitting beside each other. Who Andrew was the lichen, so he also would have triggered as a private investigator. And then, yeah, so there was a lot of combinations where the PA could have had 2 or 3 werewolves in his pick. He wouldn't have known it, but Joseph was the witch. He saved Daniel because Daniel was the beholder and claimed to be the seer, and an interesting move that really worked. And Joseph, though, used his kill potion on Sarah. I will give a tidbit though, Joseph, you could have saved your kill potion for later. Had you been targeted at night, you're still allowed to use your kill potion when you're targeted. So you didn't have to use it that same night. Andrew, as I mentioned, was the lichen. Adele was the disease, but he never died. Lee was the cursed, and he became a werewolf. Elliot was the student. He picked Daniel, probably assuming Daniel would die early. Daniel was the beholder, so I told Elliot that he was now basically gave him the information. Connor was the wolfman, apparently, which, and then the werewolves were Chef, Corraller, Alex, and Blake, and the rest of you were playing villagers. And you can unmute now. Good work, guys.
First, I have to say, I think I remedied myself because I figured out Lee, which I'm impressed by myself that I figured out from my notes. And I also got Alex service just on a hunch, just a feeling. So, okay, I killed the seer, but, it worked out anyway.
Well, to be fair, the other person I had checked was Lee. So if I had cleared Lee, it would have caused some problems.
Sorry, Sarah.
I was about to check Chef, though, when you killed me.
It also explains, when I wrote Sarah on my thingy, Matthew was he looked like confused. And that's of course because he knew I killed the seer. So
Well, my most interesting thing that I was hoping when I went out, I made a plan. I was gonna, after 2 days, I was gonna just say out loud my suspicions and lead the village to vote at least one of them. If he was, or she, this time Blake, if he was a villager, I had no clue. If he was a villager, it would have been even more awesome. And this is why I was like, now I'm gonna risk it. I'm just gonna see what happens. But yeah, sadly for Sarah, I was like, I'm either gonna protect her or I'm gonna waste a kill during the day on me, better than killing Sarah and making her reveal, or nominating her and making her reveal, because there was suspicion on Sarah starting with the beginning of the game. But I have to stop. I'm not gonna be taking any more notes. This goes out. And whenever I play, I'll just have to make at least a week break, because, yeah, I think it for the moderator especially, knowing people like we know now and knowing each other, I think it in a bit it ruins the game. Although it's fun, it has specific stuff that happens, but still, I don't know.
Villagers had a lot of roles here, though.
I'm starting to read people a lot, and I don't like that. I'm not enjoying that, actually. I just want to say.
Well, you're playing the game good. Is that a
I'm
bad
playing
thing?
it good, but I do not enjoy it as I enjoyed it when we started. That's not about the people. It's about me. You know, it's about me. So, yeah, I have to take a break. That means I have to take a break.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Candice once more, because Candice said in the first game she was in, she said something that was so good, and that was that a lot of times when people act funny, it's because they have an important role. And Sarah sounded nervous in the beginning, and that's because she's the seer, not because she's a werewolf. And it's like, I have to go back to that all the time.
Yeah,
on the other side, do you know why?
As well. He has gotten the seer killed because he picks up on tells, which sometimes means that they're trying to play a role.
So, Ayahu, I do as well. I take my notes just to confirm my tells. My tells actually are the ones that I trust the most. So for Blake and for Chef, those were the two things.
So Daniel, for me, was it on?
Happened?
Yeah. Was it just
yes?
Me saying
yes.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. You know why? Because Gilles, who is almost always a werewolf, does that all the time, every game.
But okay, so you've only played with me one time. And I actually did that. Wait, I actually did that the first time I played with you to someone else, right? And I was a villager.
And maybe I have assumed that time that you were doing it because you don't know, you haven't played with us and you're new.
That could be it. Yeah.
Maybe I have assumed like that, but maybe other things.
Remind me not to play poker with you.
No,
ever.
Actually, I do not play poker. I do not play. So yeah, but the most important thing here and most interesting was something that I have to have a second thing when I get a social cue or a tell, as Ayahu says or calls them. When I get a tell, I always try to find in my notes something that confirms it, and then I'll go hard and get out with the suspicion. That for Chef was floating down on day one a lot.
Yeah.
So
well,
Chef
I
was
definitely hear you, because a lot of times when I have a tell, there's like 3 or 4 things, and they all kind of line up. And so like with what's his name, Chef, like immediately I was jumping in to defend him, but then I was like, well, hold up, there's other things that are making it not go with that, because the problem is there's always a pro and a con to both sides, but when you weigh multiple things.
So Chef was number 1 for me. Number 2 was Blake, and I was going with the thing just to play around about getting the second one even wrong.
I voted to save you, Chef. I was just too enticed by that side of fruit that you offered.
None of you can figure me out, apparently. Like, all of you just assume I'm bad every game.
And if the village nominated me for killing a villager, if Blake was a villager, I was never gonna say I was the beholder. So to be able to save Sarah a day or a night more,
I would never let that happen, because I would have cleared you like when they tried to eliminate you.
Well, that was unfortunate, Jason.
It was good that we killed Andrew, because he was a Lycan, so he could have made a problem later on.
I would agree with that. You should almost always kill the Lycan, even if you know they're the Lycan, just because it's a liability. And
I didn't mind dying.
It's not a liability.
Andrew, like nominating yourself, that's just so weird. That's like, okay, Guami can get away with it, but you can't. I'm gonna suspect if you do it.
I trusted you as a villager until you nominated yourself. I was like, oh, wait a minute, he's trying to pull one off on us. Nope.
Especially since it's like the end of the day.
Except that it was really just kind of screw around, and I was trying to see how people would vote.
So one more funny thing that happened. One more funny thing that happened when I went
the student role. I just kind of
before the night that Sarah died. I was like, okay, now since everybody is alive and no one died, I thought no one died, but I rushed out with my saying that I'm not the seer. Actually, Sarah died, but I jumped out.
Were you surprised that you didn't die, Daniel?
Actually, I was not. I thought, and I was. There was one mistake that I made before we went to sleep. I just want when we killed Blake. And Matt said that he was a villager. I was gonna say, "Don't save me." I was gonna say that, but I forgot.
And then, what? He wasn't a villager.
What did you guys? Yeah, I said he was a werewolf. What did
No,
you
no.
think of the student role? Did you? Did,
I thought it
That's
was
actually
really
a cool
interesting.
one. It's a cool
I'd be
one.
curious to know what the superpowers were, but I don't know that you want to reveal all of
no,
them.
no, I'll let you know now because if people want to use it. So this is what I came up with. So, where is it? So my idea was if you, pick a the seer, then you get to check 2 people the first night. If you're hunter, which wasn't in the game, you get 2 kills when you die. Bodyguard, you would get to protect in multiple nights. The witch, I was going to give an extra kill potion to. The disease, I was kind of hoping it would happen with the disease because I like if you die, one of wolf dies randomly too. So and they don't get the kill.
Who was the deceased, by the way?
Adele. The tough guy would get a hunter kill as well. So if you check the werewolf, you'd be a tough guy and a hunter. And then the villager would get an extra confirmation on the villagers.
It was a fun game, even though it
Holder, I
was quick.
assume, had no special superpower.
As I said to Matt in chat in private after I was dead, I think the werewolf should have had like a wolfman or a cub. Or
Yeah,
a hunter or
it
something.
was hard to know how powerful the student was. And it was a little in favor of the village anyway. So I probably could have used a cub or a wolfman to.
Do you want to keep this little dragon this happy all day long? Then subscribe to the channel.